I chose to talk about education. Some background information about myself that may clear up why I chose this topic is I believe in the power of education and the tools it empowers people with. I myself am majoring in elementary education. For as much as I believe in education, we have many flaws in our public education system. Therefore, I am trying to find out what the purpose of our system is so we can find a solution. I started by talking to young girls, 3 and 6 years old. I then talked to senior girls, and the difference in their answers was astounding. I first asked them what the purpose of education is. Why do we even go to school? What are we there to do? Okay, Brooklyn, I'm gonna ask you 2 questions.
I can see you through the hut.
Okay, perfect. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What is the purpose of education? Like, why should we go to school? What should they teach us?
Math.
Math, yes.
Art.
Art.
Music.
Anything else? No, just those 3 things?
Yeah.
Do you think that our school does a good job of doing that?
Yes.
Yes. Do you think they could do better, or do you think it's perfect?
I think it's perfect.
Okay. That's all I need from you. Good job. High five. Are you ready, Harper?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Okay, don't touch anything, because that's
I'm not.
class. Okay, Harper, I'm asking
I
the
can
same
see you.
questions.
I can see you.
So you
I'm
gotta
watching.
think of, try to think of, it can
Open
be
it.
the same answers as your sister or different, okay? Okay.
But it has to be school stuff.
Right, well it can be anything, whatever you think they should teach us at school, anything in the whole
Or it
universe.
could be from my class.
Right. So what do you think the purpose of education is?
Art.
Art? Just art, that's all we should do at school?
No.
What else do you think we should do?
Drink water.
Drink water, I think that's important too. Anything else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Oh, that's a
very
good one,
important.
Put your that's a good one. Put your hair up, leave it up.
Right. What if you want your hair down though?
You leave it down.
Oh, okay, so you have the choice.
Right. Another one.
Where's
Oh
the
goodness,
right
we are going down. If you're, oh, no, never mind. If you're gonna take your hair out, you put the ponytail on your wrist. But if it's a little one, you don't. You put it in your cubby when it's not time. When you tell your teachers, if you can.
Okay. Do you think our school does a good job of making sure we learn those things?
Some lots of stuff.
Do you think they could do better, or do you think it's perfect?
I think it's perfect.
Okay, that's all I have. High five.
Camera?
Yeah. What I found interesting from the responses was they only mentioned the core subjects once. Instead, they talked about music and art. They also mentioned washing hands and where to put your hair tie. Although these may seem like simple, childish, and cute answers, they are life skills that the school is reinforcing, or for some children, introducing. Also, they believe the school did a perfect job of performing these duties. Next, we see the answers from a junior and 3 seniors. Their answers could not be any different. What is the purpose of education?
The purpose of education is to, I think, prepare us to function in the adult world and also to kind of better our knowledge of the world around us.
Do you think our public school system does a good job of doing that?
I do not think our public school system does a good job of doing that, just because there are many different ways of learning and some work better for others, and they kind of have a one-size-fits-some approach to it.
What is the purpose of education?
I think the purpose of education is to basically just expand our knowledge of what we need to know in life in order to prepare ourselves to be out in the world and on our own and to take care of ourselves.
Do you think our public school system does a good job of teaching that?
I don't really think the public school system does a great job because they teach us so many unnecessary things that we're not going to use in that there's no need to learn it.
You mean you don't do Pythagorean theorem on a daily basis?
I don't need to know a squared plus b squared equals c squared every day.
Okay.
I think one of the flaws with the education system is that it just, like, all the classes that we take teach us the information that we need to know for the tests, but it doesn't really help us in the long run for, like, how it'll affect our lives in the long
No, that was good. That was good. Keep going.
like
Keep
how
going.
it'll impact our lives, like paying bills or doing taxes or stuff like that is important, but it doesn't matter really, like, how to do the Pythagorean theorem and like
Does the public school system do a good job of doing that?
I think
Of doing what you think the purpose is?
in the long run, I don't think it really matters if we got an A on a pre-cal test or we passed the APES AP test, unless you're, like, going into that field. But even then, like, the information that you need to know for a job that you're going to do isn't really, like, the answer to this conceptual question or the answer to this, like, math question. I don't think it matters, like, in the long run when we're older if we got an A on a pre-cal test or we aced another test in if we got an A if we got an A on a pre-cal test, or if we got an A on a pre-cal test, or if we did a good job in one of our DIM or BIM classes, like if we Photoshop something correctly, that doesn't really affect us in the long run with our everyday lives and the things that I think are more important to know and have in our lives.
This video and redoing it many times. Here's what I have to say very concisely. In the 1950s, the way of life was very different than it was now. Kids went home during lunch. When they came home after school, they played with the neighborhood friends. Mom was at home cooking and cleaning, and Dad was at home making all the money. There was a very traditional way of life. We've progressed past that, and many families, one, the divorce rate's higher, so they're not a traditional household anymore. They may have no parents at home, they may have multiple parents at home in different households. And because of the changing society, our education system has changed, but I don't think it's changed in the correct way. We've kept those core subjects, but we've done away with the life skills part of it. And I think that's because back in like the 1950s, it was expected that parents were teaching those things. We're teaching the life skills. We're teaching kids how to be good citizens, how to change the world, how to function. And now, fast forward to 2017, and those rules have changed, and I think now it's our school's turn to teach those things, especially in like lower income communities where they've just been stuck there their whole lives and nothing's ever happened. And we've come up with standardized testing, and I don't even know what, like, really, TEKS, STAR, oh God. It's ridiculous. Yet we've kept the conventional ways of teaching, the blackboard, the worksheets. What we need to start doing is incorporating those life skills back into the classroom. I think that'd help us immensely, and it'd help us explore the world and become more worldly citizens. I think we've become so focused on becoming American citizens, which is great, and I think patriotism is awesome. But we're going to find ourselves in a real rut if we don't change our education system fast. Kids are going to keep getting poorer and poorer. We're going to see the gap increase. We're going to see our country as a whole go down nationally. Our ranking compared to other countries is already not bueno when we look at education and the math and the science and the English and all of it. But beyond that, we're going to see other countries rising above us, and that's because of our education system. Education really does give people the power to be what they want and to fix the things they need to do and to change the world. And if we keep letting other countries beat us to that, we're going to have a problem, and we're going to not be the America that people think we are and that we should be. This kind of turned very patriotic, but it is what it is.